Join us in this detailed tutorial from our expert trainer who walks you through each step. Let's get started.
If we take a look at this very first top row, you can see it says Faker Holdings Limited. And then we've got some column headings up here, but it's a bit hit and miss as to whether they have things in them. So don't have anything there. And then we've just got _1, _2, _3. This doesn't mean anything to me. What I want to have are all of my different column headings in here. So order number, order date, product, category, things like that. But notice, because of the data set that we've imported, all of those column headings are down here in row 4, and they're all in the same column. I effectively want these to be right at the top of each column. So that's something that we're going to have to deal with. I can also see that there is a spelling error where we have quantity as well. So we're going to want to deal with that. What else might I want to remove from here? Well, we have row 5 has got some weird things in it. We just have some pipe symbols and some dashes. That's not very good for my final data set, so I'm probably going to want to remove that. What else do we have? Well, we've got some blank rows, probably going to want to get rid of those. And if I look at the actual data, I can see that in this column just here, for example, we have product name and the category that that product belongs to in the same column. So I'm probably going to want to split those up across 2 different columns. I'm going to need to fix that. And if I take a look at my numbers, I can see, well, none of these have any formatting applied to them. I think this column just here is the price per unit, and this column just here, I think, is the quantity, and then we have the total at the end here. So I'm going to need to give all of these column headings, and I want to apply the correct data type to these. And then at the end here, we have another column which just has a few random numbers in it. Now, I think what's happened here is that when the data has come across, it's kind of got a bit out of sync, and these numbers actually belong in this column just here. You can see wherever there's a number, there's a blank in the previous column. So I'm probably going to want to somehow get these numbers merged across into this column. So those are most of the issues that we have going on with this data set. Now, if I was trying to do this in Excel, this is probably going to take me quite a long time, and I'm going to have to know quite a few different formulas and be pretty savvy with Excel in order to clean this successfully. The good news is, with Power Query, we don't need to be that savvy because everything's written out in English and it's on a clickable button. So we can do things like remove rows and trim and clean and change the case of things. It's really, really simple. So let's start to go through and make this data set look pretty. The first thing I'm going to do, I can see up here in the first 3 rows, I kind of have some titles for this report. Now, I don't really want to include those in my actual table, my summary. So I'm going to remove the top 3 rows. So on the Home tab, we have a Reduce Rows group. We have a Remove Rows dropdown. And notice all the different options that we have in here, because we're going to be coming back in here in a moment when we want to remove our blanks. So you can remove top rows from here, you can move bottom rows, you can remove alternate rows, duplicates, blank rows, and errors. So loads of stuff underneath here. And if you want to remove the top 3 rows, for example, you just say remove top rows, and it will ask you the number of rows you want to remove. So I'm going to say remove the top 3, click on OK, and those rows have now been removed. How simple is that? Let's deal with, if we scroll all the way across, if you remember, I said that we've got some numbers here which really need to be merged. Now we can do this again very simply in Power Query. All we need to do is select the column to merge, hold down Control and select the column to merge it into, and then if we go to the Transform tab, we have a Merge Columns option just here. So if I click Merge Columns, it's going to kind of squash these 2 together. Now, it's going to pop up this box. It's asking me if I have a separator. I don't. I've just got numbers in here. I can specify my new column name. Now, I'm just going to leave it on the default, which is merged, because we're going to go through and rename all of our columns at the end. So I'm just going to leave all of the default settings as they are. Let's click on OK and check it out. It's now merged those numbers into the column before, and notice it's just given it the column name merged. Really nice and straightforward. So merging columns is simple to do. What shall we deal with next? Let's scroll across and take a look. I think I'm going to get rid of these blank rows next. So we've already seen where we need to go to do that. It's on the Home tab, Remove Rows. We have an option to remove blank rows. Now, this isn't going to ask you to specify a number. It's literally just going to look for any row that is blank. So any row that doesn't have anything in any of the columns. That's what it considers a blank row. So let's click on it, and those blank rows are now done. Notice as I'm doing all of these things, check out the applied steps pane on the right-hand side. It's logging everything that I'm doing. It's showing me that I removed the top rows, I merged the columns, I removed the blank rows. And if I wanted to get those blank rows back again, remember, we can just click on the cross. It's going to undo that step, and I have my blank rows back. Okay, so really nice and straightforward. Let's get rid of those blank rows again. What shall we deal with next? Well, let's deal with this weird black line in row 2. So where we have this kind of pipe symbol and then we have some dashes, this was probably a separator in the original report that separated sort of the headings from the actual data. But for what we want to do, we don't need this. So how can we get rid of this? Well, what we can do is we can filter it out. Notice that we have little filter drop downs at the top of each column. So what I could do here is click the drop down. It's going to show me everything that we have in this column. But if I scroll all the way down to the bottom, can you see there is that weird dashed line? So all I would need to do is deselect it, click on OK, and it filters that line out. Okay, so you can use filters to filter out whatever you like of your data set. What should we do next? Well, let's go in and let's split up these column headings, because in this first column, this is where we have all of our column headings. They've all been squished into this one column. Now, I basically want order number is this column just here, order date is this column, product dash category is this column, so on and so forth. Now, in order to get to that stage where we have these at the top of each column, we need to do a couple of things first of all. Now, the first thing I'm going to do here is I need to split up this information so that we have these headings in separate columns. And we can split this up using a delimiter. So because we have this little line, I think they call it a pipe symbol, in between each of these headings, we can use that to tell Power Query that that is where we want to split into a new column. So with this column selected, we can go to Split Column, and I'm going to say by delimiter. Now, you can choose whatever delimiter you like. So it depends. You might not have these lines, these pipe symbols. Maybe you have a space in there, or maybe you have a dash, or maybe you have a comma, and you want to split up using that delimiter. That is absolutely fine. You have different choices in here. And if you can't see the delimiter that's in use in your data set in this little list, you can always go for custom, which is what we're going to need to do because we don't have pipe listed up here. So if we go for custom, and then underneath we can specify what our delimiter is. So as is that line. So when I click on OK, check out what happens. It's going to split all of those into their own columns. Can you see that? We now have order number, order date, product category, price per unit, quantity, so on and so forth. Now notice underneath, apart from the order number, because that was the first column, order date, we've got null values. We have null values in all of these new columns. And that's because it's basically just created these new columns based off of the heading. The actual data is still all the way over here. So there is order date, there is product category, so on and so forth. So the next thing to do here is nudge this across to the correct column. Now, there are a couple of ways that we could do this. So if we start with the order date column, for example, I could do what we did previously. I could merge the two columns together in order to get that data across into this column. So if we go all the way across, I'll just show you for the first one here. So here are our order dates. I can select the order dates, go across to the order date column, hold down Control, and then I can go to Transform and merge those columns. So if I click Merge Columns, again, I'm just going to leave all of these on the defaults, click on OK, and it's merged them across. Okay, so that is a really nice way of doing it. Let's do it one more time so you can see that again. You need to select what you want to merge first of all. So we're going to go across to product and category, this column just here. Let's go back, hold down Control, select this column, and we can merge the columns. Click on OK. So you could do it that way. Now, if you have a lot of data, so I'm talking about a lot of different columns, then you might think, oh, this is going to be really slow. Sometimes a quicker way of doing this is simply to delete out all of these columns with null in them and then just rename these columns just here. Okay, so what we could do here is we could select this column just here where we have our null values and go all the way across to this column, hold down Shift to select all of them, right click and just say remove columns. And then we can just go in and we can rename these columns to what they're supposed to be, which is what we're going to do in the next step. So you kind of have two different ways that you could deal with that. You can delete the columns and rename the headings, or you can merge the columns. It's entirely up to you. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to promote our top row so that those are our headings. Because if you take a look at our current headings, they're a bit all over the place. We have the actual file name as the heading in the first column. We have merged 1 as the heading in the second column, merged 2, and then _2, so on and so forth. And some of the headings that I want to use are actually in this first row just here. So order number, order date, product category. So what we can do is we can promote row 1 so that that becomes our heading row. If we go to the Home tab, in the Transform group, we have an option here, Use First Row as Headers. So as soon as I click that, it's going to pull it up and things are starting to take a bit more shape. We now have order number, order date, product category. Remember, these ones aren't named because we deleted them with those null values in. So I'm going to go through and just rename these columns. So all you need to do is double click where it says column 4 and you can type in whatever name for the column that you like. So this one is price unit. Double click the next one. This is quantity. And then double click the final one. This is the total. Okay, so things are starting to take a little bit more shape. What do we need to do next? What other issues do we need to fix? Well, if we take a look at the product category column, you can see that we have some weird spacing going on in here. We've got some tab spaces in here. Now, if I was working in Excel and I wanted to get rid of all of these spaces, I would use the trim formula. You might be familiar with that. It will just take out all of these spaces. Now, we have the same thing in Power Query. And one thing I always say to people is don't just trim the column that is very obvious. I always trim all of my columns just to make sure there are no erroneous spaces lurking in there, because spaces can be the devil when you're trying to analyze a data set. So in general, what I'll do is select all of my columns. So I'm just going to hold down Shift to select them all, and then I'll trim the whole lot. Now, you're going to find your trim underneath Transform. In the text column just here, we have a format drop down, and check out what we have in here, because so many of these you might be able to relate to formulas that you've used in Excel previously. So we have lowercase in here. That is the equivalent of the function lower in Excel to change everything to lowercase. This is the equivalent to upper in Excel to change everything to uppercase. Capitalize each word is the equivalent to the proper function in Excel, where we just have the first letter of each word capitalized. We then have trim and clean. Again, two functions you may have used in Excel. So we're going to choose trim, and like magic, it trims out all of those erroneous spaces. So we are definitely looking a lot better now. What else do we need to do here? Well, this column just here, product-category. Now, for some reason, when somebody has put this data set together, they've decided to combine both the product and the category that that product's in the same column. And one rule of data analysis is that make sure that you split up your data. You don't want two separate things in the same column. So really what we want here is we want a column just listing out all of the products, and we want a column that just lists out the categories. Now, because we've combined them here and it's separated with a dash, we're going to need to split up this column. So again, we're just going to go to the Transform tab, Split Column, and we're going to choose by delimiter because I want to split this column where that dash appears. So we're going to say by delimiter. And again, we don't have a dash in here, so you need to choose custom. It's remembered mine from last time where I put a dash in. Click on OK and check it out. We now have product in one column and category in another column. I can then go in and rename these headings. So we're going to say product, and then we're going to say category. We are looking so neat now. If you think about what this data set looked like when we started and what it's looking like now, it's such a huge change. And still, everything I'm doing is being logged in this pane on the right-hand side. Final couple of things. It's always worth going through and checking the data types applied to each column. Now, when I say data types, I mean these little things just here. So can you see next to each of these column headings, we have these little icons. So if we click on the one next to order number, this is where we can see what the data type is for this particular column. And often you'll need to go in and check these and make sure you have the correct one applied, depending on what type of data you have in that column. So for order number, Power Query's picked up that this is text. Now, order numbers are a little bit, sometimes you want to have them as numbers, sometimes you want to keep them as text. I'm just going to keep these as text. But this one just here, order date, I want to switch to date. And you can see that moves it over. Product is text, and that is actually text that we have selected. Category is also text, that's fine. Price per unit, well, this needs to be currency, so let's switch it. Quantity, well, this is a whole number. And then finally we have total. This is also going to be currency. Okay, so always go through and check to make sure that you have the correct data types applied. So we're looking pretty good. We're almost at the stage where we can load this back into Excel and start our analysis. The final thing I want to show you here is just how you can create custom columns as well. So if you take a look, we have a totals column, and this totals column is basically a calculation. So price per unit multiplied by quantity. So if we didn't have this, I'm going to remove the total column from the data set. Maybe this is what our data set looked like. We've just got price per unit and quantity. We don't actually have a column that shows the total. What we can do is when we're working in Power Query, we can add a custom column that's going to perform that calculation. So if you're familiar with pivot tables, this is very similar to adding a calculated field. So what we could do here, if we wanted to add a total column back in, is go up to the Add Column tab, and in the General group, we can create ourselves a custom column. So we can give our new column a name. I'm going to call it Total. And the way this works is you can't actually type a formula into here. You have to use the column names. So I want to do basically price per unit multiplied by quantity. So I can use the column names to do that. So we're going to double click on price per unit. We're going to put in an asterisk, which means multiply by quantity. Notice at the bottom it says no syntax errors have been detected, so I know that this formula is valid. And then when I click on OK, it's basically going to add that column for me with that calculation in it. And of course, I now have to go back in and set the data type to currency. Okay, so just be aware that you can do things like that. There's obviously so much more you can do with Power Query than what I'm showing you here when it comes to cleaning and doing different things. But these are some of the main things that you're going to come across.
Don't let your momentum stop here. Check out our recommended playlist for more helpful videos to boost your skills. Visit the Simon Says It channel. Explore our videos and training sessions and decide what you want to learn next.